The concept of abundance emphasizes that true fulfillment doesn't come from external validation, attention, or material possessions, but from within. In dark Stoic psychology, self-sufficiency is viewed as a cornerstone of abundance. When we depend on others or external circumstances to define our worth, we become vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. Instead, cultivating a mindset of self-reliance allows us to break free from this dependency and embrace a sense of abundance. High-value individuals understand that their confidence, peace, and happiness aren't tied to the opinions or actions of others. They focus on their own growth, goals, and values, recognizing that their self-worth isn't dictated by external factors like approval, attention, or possessions. By shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance, they create a life built on inner peace, contentment, and self-assurance. The more we believe we have enough, the more we begin to attract what we truly need. In this way, self-sufficiency becomes the key to unlocking the abundance that already exists within us. This journey towards self-reliance is not about denying external desires, but about understanding that true value comes from within, leading to a life of confidence, purpose, and growth. Number 1. The psychology of silence. Why ignoring them works best. The psychology of silence teaches us that ignoring someone who is playing hard to get can be one of the most powerful strategies in maintaining emotional control and preserving self-worth. Silence doesn't mean passivity, rather, it signifies self-awareness and confidence. When someone is distant or non-communicative, responding with silence removes any emotional leverage they might have over you. In dark Stoic psychology, silence is viewed as a tool of strength rather than a weakness. By not reacting to their behavior, you prevent yourself from becoming emotionally invested, thereby reducing your vulnerability. People who engage in silence often seem unbothered by others' actions, which cultivates a sense of mystery and independence. When you adopt a silent response, you remove the need for validation, which can increase your perceived value in the eyes of others. The more you appear indifferent to their pursuit, the more they may feel compelled to seek your attention, inadvertently reinforcing their desire to engage with you. This creates a dynamic where you maintain control rather than allowing someone else to dictate the terms of your worth. Silence also communicates a deeper understanding of your own value. Someone who recognizes their self-worth doesn't feel the need to chase after those who don't reciprocate interest. From a psychological perspective, silence can trigger a fear of loss in others, making them realize they may lose what they once took for granted. By embracing this approach, you not only protect your emotional energy, but also position yourself as someone who is secure in their own identity, someone who doesn't need external validation to feel valuable. Ultimately, adopting silence shows that you are confident, self-reliant, and emotionally unattached, which can be far more attractive than constant pursuit or reaction. Number 2. The power of detachment. How letting go boosts confidence. The power of detachment lies in its ability to foster confidence and emotional strength. In dark Stoic psychology, detachment is not about disinterest, but rather about letting go of attachment to outcomes and external validation. When we become too emotionally invested in someone or a particular result, we give away our power and become vulnerable to disappointment and insecurity. Letting go, however, allows us to maintain control over our emotional state. Confidence is not dependent on external circumstances or the validation of others, but rather on how we respond to them. By detaching from outcomes, we create a mental space where our self-worth is no longer tied to someone else's actions or decisions. High-value individuals understand that their confidence comes from within, not from seeking external approval. Detachment helps reduce anxiety and the need to control situations, freeing us from the pressure to conform to others' expectations. When we let go, we stop chasing after things that may not serve our best interests, and this gives us the clarity to focus on what truly matters, our own growth and well-being. Detachment allows us to act from a place of strength, knowing that we are not defined by anyone else's interest or response. It also reinforces a sense of self-sufficiency, where our confidence doesn't rely on others, but instead is rooted in our own beliefs, values, and actions. When we let go of attachment, we no longer fear rejection or loss because we understand that our value remains intact, regardless of external circumstances. The more we practice detachment, the more we become grounded in our sense of self, making us less susceptible to external pressures and more aligned with our own sense of purpose. Ultimately, detachment boosts confidence by empowering us to trust in ourselves and our ability to navigate life's challenges without needing others to validate our worth. Number 3, playing your own game. Stop reacting, start leading. Playing your own game is about shifting from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. In dark Stoic psychology, leading is associated with strength and self-control, whereas reacting often stems from insecurity and a desire for validation. When someone plays hard to get or shows disinterest, the natural tendency is to react, chasing after their attention or seeking their approval. However, reacting keeps you in a position of vulnerability, as it shows a dependence on external validation. High-value individuals, on the other hand, don't allow their emotions to be dictated by someone else's behavior. They play their own game, grounded in self-assurance and clarity. Leading means taking ownership of your actions, thoughts, and decisions, rather than letting others control how you feel. By focusing on your goals, values, and growth, you create a sense of purpose that doesn't depend on others' approval. When you lead, you remain unaffected by someone else's game playing, because you know your worth isn't determined by how others respond. Stoicism teaches that external circumstances are beyond our control, but our responses and actions are entirely up to us. By refusing to be reactive, you maintain your power and avoid giving away your emotional energy. Leading also requires confidence, as it involves trusting yourself and your path rather than seeking external validation. When someone senses that you're in control of your own life, they're more likely to be drawn to you, because people are naturally attracted to those who exude confidence and self-reliance. Playing your own game means detaching from the need to seek approval or chase after others, and instead focusing on becoming the best version of yourself. This mindset allows you to navigate relationships and situations with clarity and strength, creating a magnetic presence that others naturally gravitate toward. Number 4, high-value women don't beg for attention. High-value women understand their worth and don't beg for attention. In dark Stoic psychology, self-worth is not derived from external validation or the approval of others. Begging for attention signals a lack of confidence and self-respect, as it implies a dependency on others' approval to feel valued. High-value women, however, are grounded in their own sense of self-worth, and they don't seek validation from those who show disinterest or play hard to get. Instead, they cultivate inner confidence and self-reliance, knowing that their value is inherent and not dependent on external factors. When someone plays hard to get, chasing after their attention only reinforces their disinterest and makes you appear desperate. High-value women recognize this dynamic and choose to maintain their self-respect by detaching from those who don't prioritize or respect them. Detachment doesn't mean they lack interest or care, but rather that they refuse to lose sight of their own value by clinging to someone who doesn't reciprocate their efforts. Instead, they channel their energy into personal growth, self-improvement, and pursuing relationships where they are genuinely valued and respected. By focusing on their own goals, ambitions, and well-being, high-value women exude an aura of self-assurance that naturally draws others toward them. They understand that their worth isn't diminished by someone else's disinterest. In fact, their confidence and composure often make others more intrigued and drawn to them. High-value women know that true confidence comes from within, and they prioritize their own well-being over the fleeting approval of others. They are selective about who they give their attention to, understanding that their energy is too valuable to be wasted on those who don't appreciate or respect them. In essence, high-value women don't seek attention. They attract it by embodying self-respect, independence, and a sense of purpose. Number 5. The reverse psychology effect. When they realize you don't care. The reverse psychology effect occurs when someone realizes you don't care, which often sparks curiosity and desire. In dark Stoic psychology, the principle of detachment plays a crucial role in this dynamic. When you show indifference to someone who is playing hard to get, you shift the power back to yourself. People are naturally drawn to what seems unattainable, and when they sense that you aren't invested in their approval or attention, it creates a sense of intrigue. The more you appear unaffected by their disinterest, the more they begin to question your value. Human nature often thrives on the challenge of pursuing what seems elusive or difficult to attain. When someone is used to receiving attention and validation, their disinterest tends to breed a sense of entitlement. However, when you refuse to chase after them, they begin to experience the absence of your attention as a loss. This loss creates a gap in their perception, prompting them to reevaluate their initial stance. By detaching emotionally and showing that you're unaffected by their behavior, you disrupt their expectations, leading to confusion and curiosity. They wonder why they no longer hold the same power over you and may begin to reflect on their own, realizing they've lost something valuable. This realization often leads them to re-engage, hoping to regain what they've lost. In high-value psychology, your confidence and indifference signal that you are secure within yourself, not defined by someone else's approval. The reverse psychology effect highlights the importance of maintaining self-worth and emotional independence. When someone realizes they no longer have control over your emotions, they may become more invested in seeking your attention. The key is to maintain composure and remain focused on your own goals and values, rather than reacting to their behavior. By doing so, you reinforce your self-sufficiency, which ultimately makes you more attractive and desirable. Number 6. Turn the tables. Focus on your own growth, not them. Turning the tables and focusing on your own growth, rather than being consumed by someone else's behavior, is a fundamental principle in dark Stoic psychology. When someone plays hard to get or shows disinterest, the natural tendency is to obsess over their actions, wondering why they're acting a certain way. However, placing too much attention on them allows their behavior to dictate your emotions, leaving you in a position of vulnerability. By shifting your focus inward, you reclaim control over your life and emotional well-being. Growth isn't tied to someone else's validation. It's an internal process rooted in self-improvement and self-awareness. High-value individuals understand that their worth and confidence come from within, not from external validation or the attention of others. When you prioritize your own growth, you build resilience and emotional independence. Instead of chasing someone who isn't investing in you, you channel your energy into personal development, whether that's improving your skills, pursuing your goals, or nurturing your well-being. This shift not only strengthens your character, but also makes you more attractive because you demonstrate self-sufficiency and purpose. People are naturally drawn to those who are focused on self-improvement and are unapologetically committed to their own growth. By letting go of the need for external validation, you create space to attract individuals who genuinely respect and value you. In the end, focusing on your own growth allows you to detach from the outcome and frees you from the emotional entanglement of someone else's behavior. It helps you become the best version of yourself, which naturally positions you as someone others are drawn to, rather than someone who chases after approval. Number 7. The role of mystery. Let them wonder about you. The role of mystery plays a crucial part in creating intrigue and attraction. In dark Stoic psychology, mystery isn't about secrecy or playing games. It's about maintaining an air of independence and self-assuredness. When someone plays hard to get or becomes disinterested, they often expect you to reveal your thoughts, emotions, and intentions, which gives them control over the dynamic. However, by embracing a sense of mystery, you take back that control. Mystery doesn't mean being closed off or emotionally distant. Rather, it's about presenting enough of yourself to spark curiosity, while leaving enough unanswered to keep others intrigued. People are naturally drawn to what they cannot fully understand or predict. When you maintain an air of mystery, others are compelled to seek more, prompting them to invest their attention and energy into figuring you out. In relationships or interactions, when someone is unsure about you, they naturally become more interested, often questioning what you're doing, what you're thinking, and how you're feeling. High-value individuals understand that cultivating mystery allows them to stay in control of their narrative rather than chasing after others for validation. They know that revealing too much too soon can make them predictable, which diminishes their perceived value. Instead, by keeping certain aspects of themselves hidden, they maintain a sense of independence and self-sufficiency that others find attractive. The mystery creates a space where others feel the need to explore, wonder, and engage, while also giving you the freedom to focus on your own growth and well-being. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and self-possession, and mystery is one of the key traits that signals those qualities. When someone wonders about you, they invest energy into figuring out who you are, and this leads to greater intrigue and desire. Ultimately, embracing mystery allows you to maintain control, ensuring that others pursue you rather than the other way around. Number 8. High-value women walk away. They don't chase. High-value women understand that their worth isn't determined by someone else's attention or approval. In dark Stoic psychology, the idea of walking away rather than chasing is central to maintaining self-respect and emotional strength. When someone shows disinterest or plays hard to get, a high-value woman recognizes that chasing after them only diminishes her perceived value. Instead, she chooses to walk away because she understands that her worth isn't dependent on anyone's validation. Chasing signals desperation and a lack of confidence, while walking away signals self-assurance and self-respect. High-value women prioritize their own well-being, goals, and growth rather than investing energy into those who don't reciprocate interest. They understand that their time and energy are too valuable to be spent on someone who doesn't see their value. By detaching emotionally and walking away, they maintain a sense of control and reinforce their self-worth. When someone realizes they are no longer being chased, they often begin to reflect on their actions and realize what they may have lost. However, the high-value woman remains unaffected by this, knowing that her value is not defined by someone else's change of heart. Instead of pursuing others, she focuses on becoming the best version of herself, which naturally attracts others who respect and value her. Walking away isn't a sign of defeat. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. High-value women recognize that they deserve to be pursued, respected, and valued, and they refuse to settle for anything less. In doing so, they create a magnetic presence that draws others to them naturally, rather than relying on chasing or begging for attention. Number 9. Reclaiming your power. Stop seeking validation from others. Reclaiming your power starts with the realization that your worth isn't determined by the approval or validation of others. In dark Stoic psychology, the pursuit of validation is seen as a path to vulnerability and dependency. When you seek external validation, you give away your emotional power, placing your self-worth in the hands of others. However, when you stop seeking validation, you take control of your emotional state and align with a mindset of independence and self-assurance. High-value individuals understand that their value is intrinsic, not dependent on others' opinions or actions. By focusing on their own growth, goals, and values, they cultivate a sense of self-sufficiency that isn't shaken by the behavior of others. When you cease chasing external validation, you begin to strengthen your confidence and self-respect. You stop worrying about whether others approve of you and instead focus on becoming the best version of yourself. This shift allows you to maintain emotional control as you no longer rely on others for reassurance or affirmation. People who are secure in their self-worth attract respect because their confidence radiates from within. The more you seek validation, the more you signal that your worth is contingent on others' opinions, which often leads to disappointment and insecurity. Conversely, when you stop seeking validation, you project an air of self-assurance that makes others naturally drawn to you. In letting go of the need for external approval, you foster inner peace and a deeper understanding of your own value. Confidence becomes your foundation, and as you build self-reliance, you naturally become less dependent on others for validation. Reclaiming your power means recognizing that your worth is not determined by external factors, but by how you view yourself and the value you place on your own growth and self-improvement. Number 10. The law of abundance. Why self-sufficiency is key. The law of abundance is rooted in the idea that self-sufficiency is key to living a fulfilled and meaningful life. In dark Stoic psychology, abundance isn't about the external accumulation of wealth or attention. It's about an internal mindset of self-reliance and contentment. When you cultivate self-sufficiency, you detach from the need to seek validation, approval, or external resources to feel complete. High-value individuals understand that their worth isn't derived from others, but from within. By focusing on their own growth, values, and ambitions, they create a sense of abundance that isn't dependent on the attention or validation of others. The more you rely on external factors, whether it's the approval of others, material possessions, or recognition, the more vulnerable you become to disappointment and scarcity. In contrast, when you adopt a self-sufficient mindset, you shift from scarcity to abundance. You stop measuring your worth by what others can give you and instead recognize that your value comes from within. This mindset allows you to embrace life with confidence, knowing that you have everything you need to thrive. The law of abundance teaches that when you believe you have enough, you begin to attract more. Self-sufficiency isn't about denying external desires, but about realizing that your happiness and fulfillment don't hinge on receiving approval or validation from others. Instead, they stem from your internal sense of worth, independence, and purpose. When you are self-sufficient, you no longer depend on others to define your value, making you less susceptible to the whims of external circumstances. This leads to a more peaceful, secure, and empowered existence. High-value individuals who practice self-sufficiency exude confidence and attract others who respect their independence, creating a dynamic where abundance naturally flows.